The final 3 members of an organised crime group of 13 men who were part of a UK-wide drugs network have now been jailed, taking the combined total of more than 129 years in prison for the gang. The combined sentence of 129 years and 9 months is the biggest ever jail term secured by the ERSOU's regional organised crime unit. The group was spearheaded by brothers Ansar and Ajmal Akram from Hemel Hempstead, and they used encrypted phones to organise exchanges of multiple kilos of cocaine at a time up and down the country, selling drugs to other gangs and wholesale drug dealers for onward distribution. Over a 6-month period in 2019, specialist officers investigated the group as they travelled the length and breadth of the country, including to Yorkshire, Dorset, Luton, Leicester, Middlesbrough, Northampton and Buckinghamshire. Wasim Khan of Luton was a senior member of the group who acted as a middleman for multiple customers, brokering deals nationwide, and he was jailed following a hearing at St Albans Crown Court today for 15 years. Also jailed today were Mohammed Jangir, who's 39 years old, of Sheffield, and Taswir Mohammed of Buckinghamshire. They were customers of the business, buying kilo blocks of cocaine at a time for onward sale across the Sheffield and Aylesbury areas. They were jailed for 11 and 8 years respectively. Following the final sentencing, Detective Inspector Ian Maudsley said the hearing today brings to a close a lengthy and complex investigation into this nationwide drug supply network. Thanks to the determination and tireless efforts of the officers, some very dangerous individuals are now facing a significant time behind bars, and we've halted a supply of huge quantity of Class A drugs into communities across the country. So Ansar Akram headed up the organised crime group, and he was jailed for 15 years after pleading guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine and possession of criminal property. Ajmal Akram, he was the lieutenant within the organised crime group, and he was jailed for 14 years. There were other members of the group: Rauf Khan, who's 27, who orchestrated the organised crime group's couriers, as well as acting as one himself on several occasions. He was sentenced to 11.5 years in jail back in December. The group had 3 regular couriers who were responsible for ferrying the Class A drugs up and down the country, returning to Hemel Hempstead with bags containing thousands of pounds of cash at the time. There were Wasim Afzal, who was jailed for 11 years and 9 months. Sabraz Azif was jailed for 4.5 years. Jamil Khan was jailed for 10 years. And the following men were customers of the group, buying multiple kilos of cocaine for onward sale in their local areas. Azan Mahmood was jailed for 11.5 years. Ben Lewis was jailed for 7 years and 2 months. Ali Zarai was jailed for 5 years and 4 months. And Ryan Broccoli was jailed for 5 years. Hannah Wilkinson, one of the heads of the ROCU, said our unit used a range of specialist tactics to tackle those at the top end of the drug supply network, and I'm really pleased that thanks to the tenacity of the officers, we've secured our biggest ever combined jail sentence. Although criminals at the very top of the chain can seem removed from the devastating impact of drug dealing, the actions of people involved in such groups can still have terrible consequences for those living within our communities. From the vulnerable users who are exploited by the ruthless criminals out to make as much as they can, to those affected by the wide-ranging criminality that comes as a result of drug supply. So guys, that's a new story coming where the final 3 members of an organised crime group have been jailed, taking the total sentence to 129 years for the group. Let me know what you guys think. It's your boy GC. Keep it locked, keep it real.